I didn't feel like I really had a life with him. I always wonder how we would have been now. Maybe we would have developed more of a relationship, and we would have bonded with each other more. And I often feel like I've sort of been snatched from having that relationship with him. There's so many things that are going on in my life at the moment that I wish so much he could have witnessed. Like graduation, and I think if he was in, I'd tell him that. And I am slightly scared of how similar I am. Sometimes I try and almost stop myself from doing things that are similar to him, because it scares me when I know that I'm maturing and I'm growing up and I'm seeing things in me that are like Chris. Sometimes I can't even look in the mirror at myself, because when I smile I can see him looking back at me, and my smile's so similar to his that I try and avoid looking in mirrors. I can't explain it. I almost feel like Chris is inside me, and he's taken hold of me, and that now he's died, he's sort of gone into me, and I'm turning into him.
That's a good thing though, isn't it? That's a good thing though.
It's difficult to answer this without sounding to a civilian audience bloodthirsty. We're not bloodthirsty. Nobody joins the army to go and inflict violence or to kill people. But there is something about conflict and war that is, it's difficult to describe, but it's intensely exciting.
I think I've got a little tingle in my stomach thinking, yeah, it's good. I'm up for this. I've been up for this for a while. Remember, got to see our kid, and our kid was over the moon. Over the moon. I think it's the idea of the challenge for him. You know, he wants to see what it's like to get shot at. And will he react like he has done, been training for the last 17 years? He needed to crawl through the minefield to see if he could get out the other side. You know, he's that kind of guy. Crazy. Crazy.
We just got a text one night to say, "Mum, I'm at the airport, we're on our way." And that was it. He said the excitement in the air, didn't he? He said the excitement in the air is amazing.
I remember saying goodbye to him, and I went after the car and I was like, I have to say goodbye to you again. And then he drove off, and then I remember crying for 20 minutes because I wanted him to come back.
We wanted it to be a normal goodbye, the sort of thing that we'd done dozens and dozens and dozens of times before. We fully expected that, you know, he'll be back within a few months. If you didn't expect that,
you've got to believe that.
You've got to believe that. If you didn't expect that he'd be back in a few months,
how would you ever let him go out the door?
How would you ever let him go at all?
Did you see my sign writing on the outside?
I did, yes. Is that yours, though?
Oh, I didn't do it, but that's Fat Albert, that's the Hercules. And then there's the picture. It's that picture there, on the side of the boat, because that's a Fat Albert.
Fat Albert is a nickname for a...
Hercules. Hercules transport plane. Yeah, that's what they were killed on. Just before he went out, he was stood on the back of the boat. And he said to me, "Do you know," he said, There aren't many men in this world who can say they've got everything. He says, but I think I've got everything I could possibly want. He said, I've got a job I love, on a plane I love, because he loves the Hercs. He said, on a camp I love. He said, I've got a home I love, in an area that I love. He said, most of all, I've got you.
A firing button, then what seems to be 2 missiles streaking across the sky, followed by a field of burning wreckage. A terrorist group claims that these pictures, broadcast on an Arab TV network, show them shooting down the RAF transport plane.
We got in and my husband was due on a night shift that night, so he went straight up to go to bed, and I put on Sky TV, I put on the news, and there was just this headline about this crash, this Hercules crash. And I sort of, oh God, went on it, and I didn't even finish reading it, and I could just hear this noise, this horrible noise, and I realised it was me, and I was just shouting, screaming for Stephen to get downstairs. This absolute physical panic that was just so deep inside me, this just all-knowing, just, oh my God, you know. That was the moment my life changed to what it is now. I don't have my brother on this earth.
When we had the repatriation in Lynham, there were 10 coffins, and we were allowed to view them. And what they didn't tell you was when you went to view yours, that you also viewed everybody else's. And there were 10 coffins all in a row. There aren't any words to describe what it felt like. When we've had the inquest, we might not know all of it, but we'll know as much as we can know. And maybe the nightmares that I have in my head can be put into some sort of order that can be tolerated.
Well, primarily today we heard from a chap who is known only as DP. Now, back in 2000 he was talking to an American colleague who explained that the American Hercules planes had explosive suppressant foam on it, a safety precaution that should hopefully prevent an aircraft being shot down if hit by small arms fire. Now, when DP heard of this, he wrote a letter to his superiors saying he was concerned that the British Hercules didn't have it on them. When somebody confirms that something didn't happen, that if it had happened might have saved a load of lives, then you know that's probably the story for the day.
But if there wasn't anything controversial here,
we probably wouldn't have covered the story today.
Will you just run through for me some of the questions that all of you need answered in this inquest?
Well, certainly from the perspective of my mother and... I mean, I'll talk to anybody, anybody I will talk to. I don't care. But it's a means to an end, really, isn't it? I know that I'm nothing more than just a job to somebody. And I know that they'll hopefully help me get attention to something that I feel is really important. I don't know, I know that's all it ever is.
What do you mean you're nothing more than a job to somebody?
Well, to journalists, you know. You're just what they've got in their diary for the day.
Do you think for some people that because the media seem to be interested only if there's some kind of controversy, do you think that for them is a way of to keep their loved one in the public eye?
Well, why do they need to?
Because they want people to care about them. They want people.
But they don't care. People don't care. That's the whole point.